the key point here is that how you define yourself determines what must survive. Anything that's part of your identity or self-concept automatically becomes important and must be survived. Threat and danger are not real objective things. Threat and danger are relative to however you define yourself. So, for example, let's say that for you and I, if we're not rabid, zealous Christians, if you take a Bible and you throw it into the fireplace, I wouldn't react. I wouldn't really care. You probably wouldn't either. But if we take like a serious, hardcore, zealous Christian who really believes in the Bible, grew up with the Bible, considers it a holy book, maybe has a Bible that his grandfather passed down to him over the ages, and it's important to him. He's underlined it, and he has important passages in there that help him with his life and all this. See, to him, if you take that Bible and you throw it in the fireplace, that's going to be a serious threat and danger to him, and he's going to react very emotionally, get very upset, might even cry, might even, become violent and murderous for you doing this. Why? What's the difference? The only difference is that he's created an identity out of that Bible. See, he's attached to it. It's important to him. Why is it important to him? Precisely because it's wedded to his sense of survival. It helps him to survive. Now, here's the mistake that people make is they think, but Leo, how does a Bible's just full of philosophy and silly, superstitious ideas. How can that help with survival? He's deluded. Actually, it's you who's deluded. What you don't understand is that what's being survived by this Christian is not his physical body. It's his identification with being a Christian. It's that Christian self-image. That is the thing that's the most important. That is what we call the ego. That is what we call the sense of self, with a lowercase s. See? And you have one of those as well. It's just a question of what is that for you. So for you, throwing a Christian Bible into a fireplace probably would not upset you, but there probably is something of yours that I could throw in the fireplace that would upset you very much. Maybe your baby. You see? Now you say, Leo, but my baby, that's my biological offspring, and that's very important. Everybody knows that babies are important. You just don't throw babies in the fireplace. That's ridiculous. Of course I get upset. No. Not of course. Not of course. You will only get upset if you hold this baby to be part of your survival. And that's not the case. Some mothers will dispose of their babies because they don't want them. See? So it's all about how you define what you are. If you define yourself as being a father or a good mother, then of course you need to protect that self-image. And so of course you can't let your baby get hurt. If in your mind you're telling yourself, this baby is my baby, and my baby is more important than all the other babies in the world, is that really rational? Of course not. There's no reason that your baby is more important than all the other babies. It's complete hogwash. You made it up. You made it up. Now you say, Leo, but I'm related to my baby. My baby has my genes. All human beings are related to each other. We're all basically brothers and sisters. If you look at our genetic code, we're so similarly related that there's really no reason why you should care more for your baby surviving than for some other baby surviving. It doesn't matter. You're just totally selfish, and you're completely blind to your own selfishness, and you're completely in denial about your own selfishness precisely because you're engaged in survival, blind survival. So see, I want you to see that threat and danger are not absolute things. It depends on what you need to survive. So what is a threat and a danger to one person or one nation will actually be a boon to another, and will actually promote the survival of another. To a very scientifically minded nation, science, that's great. That's not a threat. It's not a danger. But when you have a theocracy, science becomes a great threat and danger. See, that's the relativity of survival. Survival is extremely relative, and people don't understand that. People, because they're so selfish and so blindly selfish, they just assume that, well, if it's good for me, it's good for everybody. No. And if it's bad for me, it's bad for everybody. Again, no, not at all. It depends on what you are, how you define yourself to be. And all of us define ourselves in very different ways.